Welcome to Zoe Stories. He truly believed I was a girl. My name is Ethan Vale, and for most of my life, I've been the kind of guy people look at and instantly assume they've figured out. Quiet. Soft-spoken. Never the center of attention. The kind of man who blends into the background, unnoticed unless someone needs a favor. But beneath that harmless, ordinary exterior, I carried a secret so delicate, so explosive, that even whispering it out loud felt like pulling the pin from a grenade. I wasn't always sure what the secret meant. I only knew how it felt. It felt like a spark trapped under my ribs. A shiver of excitement whenever I glanced at certain things. Silky fabrics, soft colors, the gentle click of heels on a floor. And it felt like terror. Pure, paralyzing terror. Because I wasn't supposed to want any of that. I wasn't supposed to imagine myself differently. I wasn't supposed to feel like this. Not when I had someone like Isabella. Isabella. My girlfriend of 2 years. Beautiful. Confident. Sharp. The kind of girl who walked into a room and suddenly the lighting felt brighter. She worked as a stylist at a boutique salon. Fashion, makeup, celebrity clients, the whole glamorous world. She was everything I wasn't. Bold where I was cautious. Fearless where I hesitated. And she loved me. God, she truly did. But love wasn't the same thing as understanding. She loved the version of me she thought she knew. The man who never strayed outside the lines. The boyfriend who always kept everything neat, predictable, normal. And that's why I kept my secret buried so deep it felt like part of my spine. She would never understand why. Why sometimes the world felt more right, more aligned, when I imagined myself as someone else. Someone softer. Someone prettier. Someone who didn't feel trapped inside their own reflection. Someone who looked like a girl. The truth was, I wasn't crossdressing out of rebellion or fetish or curiosity. I was crossdressing because it was the only time I felt like the person I was supposed to be. But admitting that? Impossible. Because Isabella was the kind of woman who believed in absolutes. She didn't like phases. She didn't like identity stuff. She didn't like anything that threatened her idea of stability. She once joked, "If you ever tried on my clothes, I'd die laughing." I laughed with her. But inside something cracked. So I learned to hide it. Too well, maybe. My whole double life existed inside small, stolen moments. Moments when Isabella's shift ran late. Moments when she was traveling for work. Moments when the house fell silent and still, offering me a few precious breaths where I didn't have to pretend. In those hours, I let myself become her. Not Isabella, but the version of me I wished I could be. And that evening, the evening this entire story spirals from, should have been just another one of those quiet, secret nights. Isabella had texted me earlier. "Love, I'm working late. Might even crash at Mia's place if we finish too late." My heart kicked like it was trying to escape my ribs. It was rare. Getting a whole night alone. Rare. Dangerous. Intoxicating. I should have ignored the feeling. I should have watched TV. Cooked dinner. Stayed normal. But the temptation was too strong. Almost gravitational. The moment the door clicked shut behind her, my pulse changed. Steady, hungry, electric. It always amazed me how quickly it shifted. Like a second heartbeat. A forbidden heartbeat. I walked into the bedroom slowly, as though approaching sacred ground. My hands were trembling. I hated that they trembled. Was it fear? Excitement? Or something deeper? In the closet, tucked behind my boring button-ups and jackets, was a small concealed box. A box Isabella had never noticed. A box that held the pieces of the person I wasn't allowed to show the world. When I opened it, that familiar scent of fabric softener and cool perfume drifted out. Inside were the things that made my heart flutter in ways I couldn't explain. A soft lavender dress. A pair of sheer stockings. A wig I'd ordered under a fake name. Delicate earrings. A simple necklace. Small, subtle makeup items stolen from discount stores or ordered late at night. I touched the dress with my fingertips. It was ridiculous how emotional that simple sensation felt. Fabric shouldn't make a person inhale sharply. Clothes shouldn't make someone's stomach tighten with longing. But mine did. Because this dress wasn't just fabric. It was a promise. A wish. A version of myself I could only live for a few stolen hours. Tonight, those hours were finally here. I slipped out of my clothes. My breath grew shallow, my skin peeking with goosebumps, as if my body knew it was crossing a line society said I shouldn't cross. Then came the dress. It slid down my skin like something alive, wrapping around every hidden part of me. The soft material hugged my waist, brushing my legs, light, gentle, right. Then the stockings. Cool. Delicate. A whisper of femininity that made my chest tighten painfully. I looked at myself in the mirror. Part Ethan. Part her. Part something in between. Something beautiful and terrifying. My makeup wasn't perfect. My wig wasn't styled like a professional had done it. My hands were shaking. My eyeliner smudged. My lipstick was uneven. And yet, for the first time in days, maybe weeks, I smiled. A real smile. The kind that felt like oxygen in my lungs. She looks pretty, I whispered. Not he. Not me. She. That one word sent a chill down my spine. A thrill I didn't fully understand. And in that fragile, perfect moment, the moment where everything felt aligned with who I secretly was, something happened that shattered the night like glass. A sound. A sound that didn't belong. A sound that shouldn't have been there. A key turning in the front door. And a voice I knew better than my own. Ethan? I came home early. My blood froze. My reflection froze. My whole world stopped breathing. Because Isabella wasn't supposed to be here. She wasn't supposed to see this. She wasn't supposed to see me like this. And worse, I wasn't sure if I wanted to hide. Or if I wanted her to truly know who I was. The sound of the key turning didn't just break the silence. It ripped the air apart. My breath hitched. My knees nearly gave out. The lipstick in my hand dropped to the floor with a tiny clatter that suddenly felt loud enough to echo across the city. Ethan. Isabella's voice floated inside. Soft, casual, completely unaware of the storm she had just walked into. I hope you're not asleep yet. I brought takeout. Takeout. She brought takeout. A normal, harmless gesture. That could destroy my entire life if she dared to walk toward the bedroom door. I scrambled. My fingers clawing for anything, everything. The wig shifted. The stockings clung tight around my trembling legs. The lavender dress whispered when I moved, reminding me with every rustle exactly what I was risking. I wanted to hide. Every rational part of me screamed at me to hide. But another part, the part wearing the dress, froze completely. I had never been seen like this. Never. Not by anyone. Not even by myself for more than fleeting moments. And now Isabella was 10 steps away from shattering every wall I'd built. I grabbed a blanket from the bed and wrapped it around myself, desperately trying to smother the dress beneath it. The reflection in the mirror now looked like a scared girl trying to hide behind a thin sheet of fabric. The footsteps grew closer. My heart hammered, drowning out everything else. Then, a soft knock on the bedroom door. Ethan? Can I come in? Her voice was innocent, unaware, loving. And I hated how much it hurt. Stay there. I blurted, voice cracking. I'm changing. A pause. A confused pause. Then a little laugh. Okay, shy boy, take your time. The laugh should have felt comforting. Instead, it drilled a hole in my chest. Because she wasn't laughing with me. She was laughing with the version of me she thought existed behind this door. The normal boyfriend. The predictable man. Not the trembling figure wrapped in a blanket, hiding a lavender dress and smudged eyeliner. My hands flew to my face. I wiped at the makeup in a panic, only smearing it worse. The eyeliner streaked. The lipstick smeared across my cheek. The wig loosened more with every rushed movement. I looked like someone caught halfway between two worlds. And failing to hide either one. Ethan? You sound weird. Are you okay? Her voice was closer now. Too close. I swallowed hard. Why yeah. Just give me a minute. Another lie. One more brick in the heavy wall between us. I forced myself to breathe, really breathe, because if I didn't, I'd collapse. This wasn't supposed to happen. Tonight was supposed to be safe. A private moment. A stolen transformation. But now, it felt like the walls were closing in. The mirror in front of me felt cruel. It reflected the truth I'd run from, the truth I ached for, the truth that terrified me. And yet, even through the panic, I couldn't deny the whisper inside me. This is who you are. Not the man Isabella believed she came home to, but the girl forcing herself to breathe beneath a blanket. Maybe that was the most terrifying part of all. Not the fear of being caught, but the fear that part of me wanted to be. Isabella's footsteps moved away from the door. I exhaled shakily, but my relief lasted 3 seconds. Because her voice suddenly called out from the living room. Hey! Why is my lavender dress missing from the laundry rack? My blood froze again. No, no, no. She walked closer again. Each footstep felt like doom. I swear I hung it this morning. Where did it go? I clutched the blanket tighter around myself, as if it could erase the truth beneath it. I had been so careful, so cautious, so invisible. But tonight everything was unraveling. I tried to step quietly toward the closet. If I could just put everything away, hide it, maybe I could survive this. But the heel of my foot caught on the stockings. I stumbled, cracked my knee against the dresser. A loud thud echoed. Too loud. Ethan! Isabella called out sharply. What was that? I closed my eyes. My pulse thundered in my ears. This was it. This was how the secret ended. Not in a dramatic confession. Not in a heartfelt moment. But in a stupid, clumsy accident. I'm fine, I shouted, voice trembling despite everything I tried to steady. But Isabella didn't respond. Then came the sound that nearly stopped my heart. Her hand touching the bedroom doorknob. Not turning it. Not pushing. Just touching it. Testing it. Are you sure? She asked softly, her voice suddenly different. Less casual. More suspicious. She must have heard something in my tone. Something I failed to hide. I backed away from the door, every instinct screaming to run, to hide, to vanish. But there was nowhere to go. Just me. The dress. The blanket. The truth. I pressed myself against the wall, biting my lips so hard it stung. Ethan, Isabella said again, her voice slow and steady. Why does it sound like you're scared? Because I was. Because I had never been this scared in my entire life. Because I wasn't scared of her. I was scared of losing her. I was scared of losing everything. Her hand tightened on the knob. And then, she began to turn it. Slow. Steady. Inevitable. The lock clicked. The door opened a sliver. And my world teetered on the edge of collapse. The door opened only an inch. But that tiny sliver was enough to send a shock through my entire body. A strip of warm hallway light pushed into the dim bedroom, slicing through the shadows and stopping right at my feet. I yanked the blanket tighter around myself. My fingers clenched it so hard my knuckles turned white. Isabella's voice slipped through the opening. Soft, but laced with concern. Ethan, what's going on? I swallowed. My throat was dry. Everything inside me screamed to lie. To push her away. To escape. But the door kept widening. Slowly. Carefully. Like she was afraid of what she might find. Her silhouette appeared first. Her hair tied loosely. A takeout bag in her hand. Her expression hidden behind the crack in the door. But her presence alone felt overwhelming. I stepped back instinctively, terrified she'd see even a corner of the lavender dress beneath the blanket. I told you I'm changing, I forced out. It was the closest thing to the truth I could manage. Not a lie. Not completely. But not something she was meant to hear, either. Isabella paused, then let out a breath. Not annoyed. Not amused. Just confused. You took this long to change? She asked quietly. The question felt harmless, but it sliced through me like a blade. Because the real answer wasn't harmless at all. I didn't respond. Silence pooled between us, thick and heavy. Then, she did something I didn't expect. She stepped back. Not fully. Just enough to give me space. But also enough to show she wasn't convinced. Ethan, she said gently, you can tell me if something's wrong. If only she knew. If only she understood how painfully true that statement was. But she couldn't. Not now. Not like this. I heard her shift, placing the takeout on the hallway table. The soft rustle of the bag felt strangely loud. Then she spoke again. Carefully. Did something happen today? Her tone wasn't suspicious anymore. It was concerned. Worried. She had no idea she was standing inches away from the truth I'd spent my life hiding. Panic flared and twisted inside me. Nothing happened, I said too quickly. Too harshly. She noticed. Of course she noticed. Isabella always noticed. Your voice is shaking, she whispered. My heart pounded so violently it hurt. I backed farther into the room. The blanket slipped from one shoulder, exposing a flash of lavender strap. I froze. Instantly grabbed the blanket. Pulled it up again, tightening it around me like armor. But in that split second, I felt something else. The dress. The soft fabric against my skin. The part of me I wasn't supposed to be. And that sensation. The pressure of my hidden self beneath the blanket. Made my stomach twist with something painfully familiar. Shame. Fear. Longing. A terrible cocktail I'd lived with for too long. I turned away from the door, holding myself, pressing the blanket against the dress as if I could crush the truth flat. No, I whispered. No, nothing's wrong. I'm fine. Please, just stay outside for a moment. My voice trembled openly now. It wasn't just fear of being caught. It was the fear of being seen. Truly seen. Isabella didn't move. Didn't speak. Didn't back away this time. She stood still for a long moment. Then, Ethan, she said softly, why are you scared of me right now? The question hit me like a physical blow. Scared of her? I wasn't. I was scared of losing her. I was scared she'd see the dress. I was scared she'd laugh or scream or walk out the door and never come back. I was scared she'd look at me and stop recognizing me. Tears pricked my eyes. I blinked them away. The eyeliner smudged even more. My reflection in the mirror looked like a ghost melting under pressure. I turned away from the mirror. I couldn't look at myself anymore. Isabella slowly pushed the door open wider, but not fully. Just until she could see the shape of me wrapped tightly in the blanket. Her eyes widened slightly. Not because she saw the dress, but because she saw my face. My smeared makeup. The trembling. The panic. She stepped forward a few inches. Ethan, you're crying. I flinched. I didn't even realize I was. Her voice softened even more. What happened? Did someone say something? Did something at work? No. I snapped too loudly. She jolted. I instantly hated myself for it. I lowered my voice, shaking. No. It's not that. She searched my face, trying to piece it together. And for the first time ever, I saw something new in her expression. Fear. Not of me. But for me. Baby, she whispered. Talk to me. You're scaring me. I pressed myself against the dresser, clutching the blanket so tight it hurt. Every piece of me vibrated with conflict. A part of me wanted to tell her everything. Another part of me wanted to hide forever. And deep inside, a very small part wanted her to open that door fully and pull the blanket away, to see what I had become and tell me it was okay. But that fantasy evaporated instantly. Reality was here, breathing down my neck. Isabella, I whispered, voice cracking, please don't come any closer. She froze mid-step. Ethan, you're shaking. Why can't I come closer? Why can't I help you? Because help wasn't what I needed. Not tonight. What I needed was safety. Understanding. A world where I didn't have to hide in my own home. But I didn't have that. Not with her. Not yet. Maybe not ever. I opened my mouth. To explain. To lie. To confess. I didn't know. But before a single word left my lips, a sudden buzz filled the room. Her phone. She glanced at the screen on the hallway table. Her eyes narrowed. It's Mia, she murmured. Why is she calling? She answered it instantly. Hey, what's up? I stayed frozen. Listening. Watching. Praying. Then Isabella's expression changed. Fast. Her eyes widened. Her shoulders stiffened. What? She said sharply into the phone. What do you mean someone saw Ethan's car parked near the salon? My blood ran cold. What? Why? I hadn't gone anywhere near her salon today. Why would someone say that? Who saw what? Was someone lying? Tracking me? Watching me? Before I could think, before I could breathe, Isabella turned toward me slowly. And the look on her face. Confusion. Concern. Fear. And something else. Suspicion. Ethan, she whispered. What were you doing today? My stomach dropped. Because this wasn't just about the dress anymore. Something else was happening. Something bigger. Something I didn't understand. And Isabella was beginning to think she didn't know me at all. The room felt smaller. Not physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Like the walls were leaning inward, crushing the air out of my lungs with every passing second. Isabella stood in the doorway, the phone still pressed to her ear, her expression frozen in that sharp mixture of confusion and fear. What do you mean near the salon? She repeated to Mia, her tone sharper now. No, he didn't have an appointment today. He didn't tell me he was going anywhere. Her eyes drifted back to me, studying me, examining me, my blanket-wrapped body, my trembling shoulders, my ruined makeup. It was becoming impossible for her not to connect dots, even if the picture wasn't clear yet. Isabella, I whispered, my voice small, weak, nothing like the person she thought she knew. She held up her finger, wait, and stepped fully out of the bedroom to finish the call in the hallway. Her voice lowered, but I could still hear pieces of it, each word slicing deeper into my panic. No. He didn't say anything. When did you see him? Are you sure it was his car? No, he's acting strange. I don't know what's going on. Strange. That was the word she used. Strange. I curled onto the edge of the bed, blanket bunched up in my fists. Every breath felt like sandpaper against my throat. Why would someone say they saw my car at the salon? Was someone playing a joke? Was someone watching me? Was it a coincidence? Was it because someone actually saw me somewhere I shouldn't have been? No. Impossible. I hadn't left the house today. Not even for a second. My mind spiraled anyway. If Isabella believed Mia, if she believed I was hiding something, if she believed I was lying, the consequences could be worse than just being caught in a dress. She might think I was cheating, sneaking around, going somewhere behind her back. The panic didn't stay in my chest anymore. It spread through my entire body like fire. I stood up abruptly, then froze, because the blanket slipped just enough that the lavender fabric underneath peeked through again. A soft shimmer. A soft betrayal. I yanked the blanket up again, clutching it tight. Even the slightest exposure could end everything. Isabella's voice suddenly got louder. What do you mean he went inside? She demanded over the phone. Inside. My knees buckled. This wasn't just suspicion anymore. This was accusation. Evidence. A claim that I physically walked into her salon today. But how? Why? Who? A chill spread through my bones. Was someone trying to sabotage me? Was someone framing me? Or worse? Was somebody watching me so closely that they knew about my secret life? The thought made my stomach twist painfully. I heard Isabella end the call with a tense, "I'll call you back." Then footsteps. Slow, controlled but heavy with emotion. She reappeared at the doorway. Eyes wide. Jaw clenched. Breathing uneven. "Ethan," she said quietly. "Mia said a man parked a car identical to yours and walked inside the salon around 4 p.m. 4 p.m. At 4 I was in this room. Trying on a different dress. Applying makeup. Experimenting with eyeliner. Trying to perfect a look I didn't even understand yet." Isabella crossed her arms. "Where were you at 4? My voice stuck in my throat. She stepped closer. "Why do you look like you've been hiding something? Why are you wrapped in a blanket? Why is your face?" She paused. Her eyes narrowed. "Are you bleeding?" Bleeding? It took me a second to realize. She meant the smeared lipstick. The messy smudges. The stains on my cheek. Not blood. Makeup. My secret. My identity. Everything. I jerked my face away from her, turning so quickly the wig shifted dangerously under the blanket. She noticed the movement. "Ethan." Now her voice was barely a whisper, loaded with a new kind of fear. What is under that blanket? My breath shook. She stepped even closer, slowly, carefully, like approaching a scared animal. Please, she whispered. Please tell me what's going on. Her voice cracked. The sound tore through me like glass. Because this wasn't suspicion now. This was pain. Her pain. She thought I was betraying her. Hurting her. Keeping secrets that had nothing to do with dresses or eyeliner or identity. Secrets she thought involved another woman. I'm not cheating on you, I blurted. The words slipped out before I could stop them. She blinked. Shock flickered across her face. Followed by confusion. Followed by something else. Then what are you hiding? She whispered. My mouth opened. Closed. Opened again. No words came. Because how do you explain something you've never admitted out loud? Not even to yourself? How do you tell the woman you love that you've been hiding dresses in her closet? Wearing her clothes. Trying on her makeup. Living two lives. One as the man she knows. And one as the girl you think you might truly be? The silence between us thickened. Her eyes softened. But the worry only deepened. Baby, whatever it is, you can tell me, she said gently. I'm not going to judge you. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But a lifetime of hiding tightened around me like a chain. The blanket felt heavier. The room felt hotter. My heart felt like it was going to break out of my chest. Then Isabella whispered something I didn't expect. Something that shattered the last bit of control I had. Ethan. Are you in some kind of trouble? Trouble. If only she knew. I took a step back. My heel caught on the stockings again. I stumbled. The blanket slipped. Just an inch. But enough for her to see the hint of lavender fabric at my shoulder. Her eyes widened. Her breath caught. She didn't speak. She didn't move. She just stared at that tiny piece of fabric. Like it was a bomb ticking down between us. And I froze completely. The room spun. My ears rang. Isabella finally whispered, voice trembling. Ethan. Why are you wearing my dress? Her words hit me like a hammer. Ethan. Why are you wearing my dress? I froze. The lavender dress that had been my secret sanctuary, my only proof of who I was underneath the layers of expectation, the one thing that made me feel alive, was now exposed. And Isabella knew. Her eyes searched mine, wide, urgent, soft, and yet sharp with unspoken questions. The kind of look that could see right into the parts of me I had spent years burying. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. My hands clutched the blanket tighter, but it was useless. She'd already seen. She stepped fully into the bedroom now, carefully, her takeout forgotten on the hallway table. I started again, but her hand on my arm froze me. Shoo, she whispered, lowering her voice. Look at me, Ethan. Look at me. I hesitated, my chest tightening with panic. My reflection in the mirror behind me showed a mix of terror and longing. Me, trapped in the lavender dress, the stockings, the wig slightly crooked, eyeliner smudged, lipstick imperfect but undeniably feminine. I wanted to shrink. I wanted to vanish. I wanted to turn into someone ordinary again. But a part of me, the part that had survived countless secret moments like this, wanted her to see everything. To know everything. To accept everything. I looked up slowly. Her eyes softened as they met mine. Not with judgment. Not yet. Just understanding tinged with confusion and a little fear. You've been hiding this, haven't you? She asked quietly. I nodded before I could stop myself. Yes, I admitted, voice shaking. I don't know why I feel like this. I feel right this way. Only like this. Isabella didn't move. She didn't speak. She just looked at me, letting my confession hang between us, fragile, trembling, impossible. I've never told anyone, I whispered. Not even my friends. Not my family. Not you. Her brow furrowed slightly. Why not? Because I was scared, I admitted. Scared you'd leave me. Scared people would laugh. Scared I'd lose myself if anyone really knew. The words felt like stones falling from my chest, heavy, wet, impossible to stop. Her gaze softened even more. She reached out, hesitantly, touching the corner of the blanket that covered me. Ethan, It's okay, she said softly. I'm not going to leave you. I didn't know. I didn't know you felt like this. Her voice, gentle and tender, made my body tremble. Relief surged in me, but so did terror. Because this was the moment I had wanted and feared for so long. Would she accept me? Or would this destroy everything? I swallowed. I don't know if I'm supposed to feel like this, or be like this, or even exist like this. But when I wear your clothes, I feel me. The real me. Silence filled the room again. Thick. Pressing. Unbearable. Then, softly, she said, "Show me." My heart skipped a beat. "Show you?" I asked, trembling. "Yes," she said. Her voice was steady now, calm but curious. "If this is who you are, I want to understand. I want to see." I froze. The blanket felt like a lifeline and a noose at the same time. Could I do it? Could I strip away the last piece of my armor and let her see every vulnerable, trembling, beautiful part of me? Slowly, I dropped the blanket. The lavender dress clung to me, soft and perfect. The wig fell slightly over one eye. The stockings highlighted my legs in a way that made me feel exposed, yet alive. My makeup was smudged, imperfect, but it told a story. She took a step closer. Her eyes scanned me from head to toe. Not with judgment. Not with disgust. Not with mockery. Just understanding. You really are beautiful," she whispered. My chest tightened. She stepped closer. Her fingers lightly touched the wig, brushing it back gently. "I've never seen you like this. I didn't know this side of you existed." Tears sprang to my eyes. Not shameful ones. Not afraid ones. But tears of relief. Of acceptance. Of finally being seen. I've wanted to feel like this for so long," I admitted. "And I've been so scared." "You don't have to be scared anymore," she whispered. A small part of me wanted to leap into her arms. Another part wanted to disappear completely. Because it wasn't just the dress. Not just the wig. Not just the makeup. It was me. All of me. And I didn't know if the world, or even Isabella, was ready. She reached out her hand, gently, hesitating only a fraction before holding mine. "Ethan, we'll figure this out," she said softly. "I don't understand everything yet, but I want to. I'll try." "Okay." I nodded, swallowing back more tears. Her other hand lightly rested on my shoulder. I trembled. Partly from fear. Partly from relief. Partly from the thrill of being completely vulnerable. And completely seen. And in that moment, something inside me shifted. I realized that hiding, sneaking, fearing, that part of me didn't have to control me anymore. But there was still danger. Still tension. Still the fear that the outside world, or someone unexpected, could shatter this fragile acceptance in an instant. Because this secret, my secret, wasn't just about a dress. It was about identity. About love. About trust. And trust, once broken, was impossible to rebuild. I looked at her. Really looked at her. "I've never felt like anyone could accept this," I whispered. Her thumb brushed against my hand. "You're not alone anymore." The word sent shivers down my spine. And yet, even in this fragile, perfect moment, the sound of the front door clicked in my mind like a warning. Because the world outside this room hadn't changed. The world that wouldn't understand. Was still waiting. For a fleeting moment, it felt like everything could be okay. Isabella held my hand. Her gaze was warm, tender, full of cautious understanding. I let myself relax for just a second. Just enough to breathe. But then the sound hit me. A soft vibration from the hallway table. The takeout phone. "Mia." I froze. Isabella's eyes followed mine, narrowing slightly. "It's her again," she muttered, glancing at the screen. "No," I whispered. "Yes." I couldn't ignore it. She answered the phone with a tentative tone. "Hello." The voice on the other end was hurried. Urgent. Almost panicked. "Isabella. You don't know. You don't understand. He was seen." My stomach dropped. "Seen?" Isabella repeated, confused. "Yes. Someone saw him. At the salon, in a dress," the voice stammered. I felt my body go rigid. The room shrank. The walls pressed closer. My heart thundered like a drum in my chest. Isabella's head snapped toward me. Her eyes widened, scanning my trembling form. "No," I whispered, my voice barely audible. "Yes. Someone saw him," the caller insisted. "I'm serious." He looked different. Like a woman. The words echoed in my mind, twisting everything into chaos. I wanted to disappear. Vanish. Shrink into nothing. But I couldn't. Because she was looking at me now. Her face unreadable. Her hand still holding mine, trembling slightly. "Is that true?" she asked, voice soft but sharp. I couldn't lie anymore. "Yes," I admitted, my voice shaking violently. "It's true. I crossdress. I've been hiding it. From everyone. From you." Silence. The kind of silence that crushes your chest. Silence that screams louder than words ever could. Isabella stared at me. Her eyes flicked to the mirror behind me, then back to me. She saw the dress, the stockings, the wig, the makeup. Everything. I felt exposed. Completely. Undeniably. Vulnerably. Then, something unexpected happened. She didn't scream. She didn't laugh. She didn't turn away. She exhaled slowly. A long, deliberate breath. And stepped closer. Her eyes softened. "Ethan," she whispered, "why didn't you trust me before?" I was scared," I admitted. "Scared you'd hate me. Scared you'd leave. Scared everyone would judge me." Her hand pressed lightly against my cheek. "You're trembling," she murmured. "I know," I whispered, tears threatening to spill. I can't even control it sometimes." Her lips curved in the faintest, almost imperceptible smile. "Shoo," she said. "It's okay. We'll figure this out. Together." A rush of relief surged through me. It was overwhelming. Intoxicating. But the phone vibrated again. Mia's persistent call. And then, a knock. Soft. Deliberate. At the front door. My blood ran cold. "Who could that be?" Isabella whispered, her hand still on my shoulder. I didn't answer. Because I knew. Someone had seen me. Someone knew my secret. And now, they were here. I glanced in the mirror. The reflection staring back was half the man I was supposed to be, and half the girl I had spent years hiding. And neither side could escape now. Isabella stepped closer. Intuition sharp. "Ethan. What is it?" I swallowed hard. "Someone's at the door." Her eyes widened, and instinctively, she moved closer. I could feel my heart hammering uncontrollably. Every inch of my body screamed to run, to hide, to vanish into the floorboards. The knock came again. Louder this time. Then another voice, muffled, carrying urgency from the other side. "Ethan. Open up. I know you're in there." I froze. Her eyes darted between the door and me. "Who is it?" she demanded. I don't know," I whispered. "But they know." Isabella's hand tightened around mine. Her jaw set, determination flashing in her eyes. "Then we'll face this together," she said firmly. But inside, panic clawed at me. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. This was bigger than I'd ever imagined. Someone knew my secret. Someone had seen me as the girl I was afraid to admit existed. And now, they were coming closer. My knees shook. My palms were sweaty. The wig slipped slightly. The dress clung tighter. The stockings pinched uncomfortably. Every detail of my hidden self was exposed, vulnerable, impossible to ignore. The knock came again. Louder. More urgent. Accompanied by a voice shouting my name. "I know you're in there, Ethan. Don't hide." Isabella's grip on my hand tightened. "Stay calm," she whispered. I shook my head. I can't calm down." Another knock. Another shout. The door handle rattled. And in that moment, everything I had feared, everything I had hidden, everything I had dreamed of being, collided. Because there was no going back. My secret life, my double identity, my hidden desire to be seen as the girl I truly was. It was about to explode into reality. And Isabella, the one person I had hoped would understand, was now standing beside me, her hand in mine, ready to face the unknown. I took a deep, trembling breath. The reflection in the mirror stared back at me, half frightened, half exhilarated. And then, the door began to open. The door creaked open, inch by inch, as if savoring the tension it had built. My stomach lurched. Every muscle in my body screamed to run. But where could I go? The room was small, the closet behind me barely wide enough to hide the dress. My wig shifted as I shifted, and the stockings pinched painfully as I took an involuntary step backward. Isabella tightened her grip on my hand, her eyes locking onto mine. "Stay with me," she whispered. I nodded, barely able to breathe. The intruder stepped inside. A man. Mid-30s. Broad-shouldered. His eyes scanned the room quickly, landing on me. Then narrowing. "Ethan." His voice was low, slightly incredulous. What the hell is going on here?" I froze. The dress clung to my body, the wig slightly askew, eyeliner smudged. Every detail screamed vulnerability. I opened my mouth, tried to explain. But Isabella spoke first, her voice sharp, commanding. "This is my boyfriend. Whatever you think you saw, it's none of your business. Leave now." The man stepped closer, ignoring her. "I know what I saw. Don't lie to me. You were at the salon today." I swallowed hard. My pulse thundered. I didn't go." "You did," he interrupted. "I saw your car outside." "I know it's you." Isabella's eyes snapped toward me. Fear flickered across her face, but she stayed resolute. "Ethan didn't go anywhere. You're lying." I glanced at her. Gratitude mingled with panic. She was defending me. But what if the truth came out now? What if this man forced it? The intruder's gaze sharpened. "I don't care what she says. I know what I saw. And now you're going to explain why you were dressed like that." Dressed like that. The words burned like acid. I shook, my hands gripping the edge of the dresser. "Please." He took another step forward. Isabella moved instinctively between us. "Stop. Back off," she demanded. But he didn't. He smirked slightly. "I guess the secret's out now. So much for hiding it." My heart pounded. I wanted to run, but there was nowhere to hide. Every corner, every shadow had been breached. I'm sorry," I whispered, voice trembling. "I didn't mean for anyone to see." "I didn't want." "You didn't want anyone to see?" The man interrupted, voice rising. "You think this is normal? Wearing women's clothes, sneaking around? You're insane." The word struck me like a punch. My chest tightened. Tears burned my eyes. Isabella stepped closer. "You're not insane. Leave him alone." The intruder laughed, a harsh, cruel sound. "You think she'll protect you forever? Everyone will know now. Everyone will laugh at you." I backed up against the wall, shaking uncontrollably. The lavender dress felt like a cage, my stockings like chains. The wig itched, the makeup smeared even more from my trembling fingers. Isabella grabbed my face gently. "Look at me," she commanded. "You are not defined by him. Not by anyone else. Only by yourself. Do you hear me?" I nodded, swallowing back sobs. He stepped even closer. "You don't get it. I'm going to tell everyone what I saw. Your friends, your family." "No!" I shouted, panic surging. "Please. Don't." Isabella's hand tightened on mine. "Stop. You are leaving. Now." The man hesitated, looking at her. Her resolve was unmistakable. But he was dangerous. I could see it in his eyes. Suddenly, he lunged forward. I screamed. Isabella pushed him back, almost losing her balance. "Get out," she yelled. He hesitated, then backed up slowly. But his eyes never left me. There was menace there. Threat. Malice. "You think this changes anything?" he called over his shoulder as he reached the door. "People will know. People will laugh. You'll regret hiding this forever." The door slammed shut behind him. Silence filled the room. Heavy. Crushing. I sank to the floor, The blanket useless now. The dress clung to me, damp with sweat. My wig was crooked. My makeup ruined. I was exposed, vulnerable. Isabella knelt beside me, pulling me close. "It's okay," she whispered. "He's gone. He can't hurt you anymore. Do you understand?" I nodded weakly, shaking. My body felt like jelly, my mind spinning. But he saw everything, and he knows. What if he tells? She hugged me tightly. "Then we face it together. I'm not going anywhere. Not now. Not ever." Her words comforted me, yet fear lingered in the air like smoke. Because even though she accepted me, even though she protected me, the threat was real. Someone knew. Someone had seen me as the girl I was afraid to show. And now the next step, what they might do, was unknown. I buried my face in her shoulder, trembling, my dress clinging, my stockings tight. And for the first time, I realized, being seen was terrifying, but being defended by her gave me a strength I hadn't known I possessed. But the danger wasn't over. Not yet. The room felt suffocating. Even with the intruder gone, the air was thick with tension, almost tangible, pressing down on me. Every fiber of my being screamed that this was far from over. Isabella held me tight, but I could feel her own unease. She glanced at the door, as if expecting him to return at any second. And maybe he would. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe properly. Couldn't think straight. The lavender dress felt tighter now, binding me to a reality I had never been ready to face in full daylight. "You're shaking," Isabella murmured, her fingers tracing circles on my back. I can't stop," I whispered, voice trembling. "He knows. Someone knows. What if everyone finds out?" She tightened her embrace. "Then we'll deal with it together. You're not alone, Ethan. Not ever." Her words, meant to reassure, were a lifeline. But even as I clung to her, the anxiety pulsed through me like electricity. My mind raced. Who had seen me? Who else knew? How far would this go? And then, a sudden buzz from my phone on the dresser. I froze. My pulse jumped into overdrive. "Who is it?" Isabella asked, keeping her voice low. I shook my head, hesitating to look. My hands were clammy, my fingers trembling. The screen flashed a name I hadn't expected. Unknown number. A chill ran down my spine. I didn't answer. Isabella leaned over, her hand brushing mine. It could be nothing. But we both knew better. The phone rang again. This time, louder. Insistent. Relentless. I grabbed it, trembling. My thumb hovered over the green button. My mind screamed, "Don't pick up, don't pick up, don't pick up." Yet I did. "Hello." My voice was small, broken. A distorted voice came through. Low, chilling. "I saw you today, wearing her clothes. Looking like that. No one will believe you if you try to deny it." I felt my knees weaken. My hand shook violently, phone almost slipping from my grasp. Who is this?" I whispered. The voice chuckled, a cruel twisted sound that made my stomach churn. "Someone who knows your secret. And soon, everyone else will too." I wanted to scream, to run, to vanish. But I was rooted to the floor, trapped in the dress, in the stockings, in the wig that had become both my sanctuary and my cage. Isabella's hand tightened around mine. "We'll figure this out," she whispered, voice steady, trying to anchor me to reality. But the caller didn't stop. "Don't think hiding in your little bedroom will protect you. You can't escape. You're exposed now, little girl." The words pierced me. Little girl. The most personal, most private side of me laid bare. Threatened. I dropped the phone. My chest heaved. My trembling intensified. Tears stung my eyes. Isabella cupped my face. "Ethan, look at me. Listen. No one else matters right now. Not him. Not anyone. Just us." I swallowed. Tried to breathe. Tried to steady my racing thoughts. But then the door rattled. Someone, or something, was testing it. Isabella and I exchanged a glance. Fear mixed with determination. "Stay behind me," she whispered. "I've got you." The knocking grew louder, more aggressive. I pressed myself into her side, trying to disappear into the shadow of her presence. A voice from outside shouted my name again. Ethan! Open up! I know you're in there. The lavender dress clung tighter with my rapid movements. My stockings pinched painfully. My wig slipped slightly, exposing a strand of hair that wasn't quite right. I froze. The intruder's hand rattled the doorknob. The threat was no longer abstract. It was real, imminent, and dangerously close. Isabella. What if he comes in? I whispered, panic edging my voice. She planted a hand on my chest. Then we face him. Together. My stomach knotted. I felt a strange mix of fear, excitement, and adrenaline. The dress, the makeup, the identity I had hidden for so long. It was all out there, vulnerable. The doorknob turned slowly. I held my breath. Every nerve in my body screamed for me to run. But there was nowhere to go. The door cracked open. And through that tiny space, the shadowed figure appeared again. Eyes sharp. Intent clear. He knew. He knew. My body froze, trapped between terror and a strange exhilaration. My lavender dress clung, my stockings pinched, my wig slipped, but I couldn't move. Isabella stepped forward, shielding me. Her voice was firm, unwavering. Stop. Leave. Now. The intruder's lips twisted into a smirk. You really thought you could hide this forever? I felt my heart race faster than ever. My hands trembled uncontrollably. The mirror reflected me, the girl I had kept hidden, exposed in all her vulnerability. And in that reflection, I realized something. Hiding had ended. My secret life, my dual identity, my forbidden self, they were all out now. The intruder was coming in. The moment of truth had arrived. The intruder's silhouette filled the doorway, half in shadow, half in harsh light from the hallway. Every nerve in my body screamed. My lavender dress clung to me, the stockings pinching painfully with every shallow breath. The wig shifted on my head, eyeliner smudged from trembling hands, and lipstick uneven from panic. Isabella moved instinctively, stepping in front of me. Stop. Just leave. Now, she commanded, her voice low but firm. The man chuckled, a dark, cruel sound. You think she can protect you? Alone? I know your secret, Ethan. Everyone will know soon. Your perfect little life is over. My knees shook violently. The words, perfect little life, hit me like a knife. This secret, my hidden identity, the one thing that made me feel alive. It was now a weapon against me. I don't want trouble, I whispered, my voice cracking. Please just go. He stepped closer. Too close. My chest tightened. My hands fumbled at the hem of the dress, gripping it like a lifeline. The stockings pinched painfully as I shifted, trying to keep my balance. You've been hiding this, he said, leaning in. All those times, sneaking around, thinking no one would notice. But I did. And now, everyone will. Isabella's hand tightened around mine. You're leaving. Or else. Or else what? The man laughed, dark and menacing. Or else I show everyone. Your friends. Your co-workers. Everyone. They'll laugh. They'll hate you. They'll see the freak you really are. The words pierced me. Shame, fear, and panic collided in a storm inside my chest. My heart raced so fast it hurt. My trembling hands almost betrayed me as they fumbled with the edge of my dress. Ethan, Isabella whispered, her voice trembling slightly but full of resolve. You are more than what he says. More than anyone says. Do you understand? I nodded, swallowing hard. I think so. She pressed her forehead to mine for a moment, grounding me. Good. Then we're not afraid of him. Not together. The man scoffed, stepping closer, ignoring Isabella. I could see the malice in his eyes, the cruel smirk curling his lips. Suddenly, my phone buzzed again. Unknown number. My pulse surged. I wanted to throw it, smash it, run, scream, but Isabella grabbed my arm. Don't touch it. Don't respond. Not now. I nodded, though my body was shaking violently. The intruder leaned closer. I don't think you understand how serious this is. One wrong move and everyone will see. Everyone will know. Isabella's voice rose, cutting through the tension. Stop. Or I call the police. Right now. He hesitated, a flicker of annoyance crossing his face. He wasn't expecting resistance. "You think calling the cops will stop me?" he sneered. "You're weak. Both of you." I felt the tears welling up, the vulnerability of my exposed form, the dress, the stockings, the wig. I had never felt so small, so raw, so seen. But then Isabella's hand tightened over mine again. "You're wrong. We are not weak. You're not taking him from me. You're not taking us." Her words struck a chord deep in me. A spark. A surge of courage I hadn't known I had. I straightened, the dress clinging tightly but feeling like armor now. The wig shifted into place with a trembling hand. My eyeliner smudges didn't matter anymore. I faced him. "You're not taking my life," I said, voice trembling but clear. "Not my identity. Not my choices. Not me." His eyes widened slightly. He hadn't expected this defiance. You think a dress makes you brave?" he sneered, taking another step forward. I swallowed. "It's not the dress. It's me. Who I am. And you have no power over that." Isabella's hand stayed on my shoulder, steadying me, giving me strength. The intruder paused. I could see him reconsidering. He had underestimated us. He had thought he could intimidate, manipulate, control. But standing there, trembling but defiant, I realized that my secret wasn't a weakness, it was a part of me. And I wasn't hiding anymore. For the first time, I didn't feel small. I didn't feel vulnerable. I felt alive. The man stepped back. His smirk faltered. He scanned our faces, hers and mine. His eyes narrowed. "This isn't over," he muttered, turning to leave. I exhaled shakily. Relief surged, but the danger wasn't gone. Not entirely. As the door clicked shut behind him, Isabella and I collapsed together on the floor. My body shook with adrenaline. My chest heaved. She held me tight. "It's over for now," she whispered. I rested my head against her shoulder. I thought I'd be destroyed. That this would end everything. "It won't," she murmured. "Because you're not hiding anymore. And I'm here. And we'll face whatever comes next, together." For the first time in years, I felt a fragile sense of peace. But even as relief washed over me, my mind raced. Who else knew? How far would this go? And when the world discovered my secret, would I be ready? The mirror reflected me, half-trembling boy, half-courageous girl, entirely exposed, and I realized there was no turning back. The storm had come, and I had survived the first strike. Even with the intruder gone, the silence in the apartment was oppressive. I sat on the floor, the lavender dress clinging to me uncomfortably, stockings pinching, wig slightly crooked. My heart hadn't stopped racing. Every sound, the hum of the fridge, the distant traffic outside, felt amplified, like a warning that danger was still out there, waiting. Isabella knelt beside me, still holding my hand. Her calm presence was a lifeline, but even she looked tense, scanning the hallway as if expecting him to return at any moment. "He could come back," I whispered, my voice trembling. "He said he'd tell everyone. He knows. He knows me like this." She squeezed my hand. "Then we deal with it. Together. He won't control you. Not me. Not anyone." I wanted to believe her. I clung to her words. But doubt clawed at my mind. What if he really did tell people? What if my secret, my identity, my hidden life, was exposed to the entire world? A sudden buzz from the phone jolted me. Unknown number. I froze. Every muscle in my body tensed. The lavender dress felt tighter, the stockings pinched painfully. The wig shifted again. My makeup smudged even more from the adrenaline. "Don't answer it," Isabella whispered urgently. But I did. "Ethan," a distorted cold voice hissed. "You can't hide anymore. Everyone will know soon. And when they do, you'll regret everything." I dropped the phone in shock. My chest heaved. Panic surged, raw and uncontrollable. Isabella's grip on my shoulder steadied me. "Ignore it," she said firmly. "He can't hurt you. Not here. Not with me." But the voice was relentless, taunting, cruel. "You're nothing without your disguise. All that courage, all that hope, gone the moment they see you for what you really are." I trembled violently. My fingers clenched at the dress, the silky fabric a fragile shield against the world. My knees quaked. Then, another sound. Footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. Outside the door. My heart jumped into my throat. "They're coming back," I whispered. Isabella's eyes darkened with determination. "Stay behind me. No matter what, I've got you." The doorknob rattled. A shadow appeared beneath the crack. The intruder's voice, low and menacing, called through the door. "Ethan, I'm not done yet." I froze, trapped between fear and adrenaline. Every detail of my hidden self, the dress, the wig, the makeup, felt like it was on display for the world to judge. "Ethan, we can handle this," Isabella whispered, her hand gripping mine. "Trust me. Trust us." The doorknob turned. Slowly. Slowly. The intruder pushed the door open, stepping into the room. His eyes narrowed as they scanned the apartment, finally landing on me. "You think you can hide behind her?" he sneered. "You're pathetic." I felt the dress cling tighter, the stockings pinch painfully as my body trembled. Every muscle tensed. My wig shifted slightly, exposing the dark hair underneath. But this time, I didn't run. Isabella stepped forward, her stance protective, unwavering. "Stop. You're leaving. Now." He laughed, a cruel, harsh sound. "You think I'm afraid of you? Little girl, you can't stop me." Something inside me snapped. All the fear, all the years of hiding, all the shame, all the trembling vulnerability. It coalesced into a sharp, burning defiance. "No," I said, voice trembling but firm. "I'm not a little girl. I'm me. All of me. And you will not control me." He blinked, surprised. My words, the confidence in them despite my trembling form, threw him off. Isabella's hand stayed on my shoulder, steadying me, giving me strength. Together, we faced him. He hesitated. His smirk faltered. He had expected fear, trembling, weakness. Instead, he saw defiance, courage, and something he hadn't accounted for: unity. "Ethan, you're stronger than I thought," Isabella whispered, pride and relief mingling in her voice. The intruder's smirk twisted into a scowl. He stepped back. "This isn't over," he muttered, turning to leave. The door clicked shut behind him. Silence fell. Heavy. Crushing. I sank to the floor, shaking violently, my dress clinging uncomfortably. The stockings pinched painfully. My wig had shifted, eyeliner smudged, lips trembling. But for the first time in years, I felt something I hadn't allowed myself to feel before: empowerment. I had faced my fear. Faced my secret being exposed. Faced a threat that could have destroyed me. And I had survived. Isabella pulled me close, wrapping her arms around me. "It's over. For now," she whispered. I buried my face in her shoulder, trembling, exhausted, and overwhelmed. The lavender dress, the stockings, the wig, they were still there, symbols of the vulnerability I had embraced, and the courage I had found. The storm hadn't fully passed. The world outside might still judge, ridicule, or reject me. But here in this moment I had been seen and accepted. And that was enough. The apartment was quiet now. The intruder had left, but the echoes of his threats still vibrated through the walls, through the air, through my chest. My lavender dress clung to me uncomfortably, the stockings pinching painfully, the wig slightly askew. Every detail reminded me of how exposed I had been. How vulnerable. Isabella knelt beside me, her fingers interlaced with mine. "It's okay," she whispered. "He's gone. He can't hurt you now." I nodded weakly, tears threatening to spill. My chest heaved. I don't know what I would have done without you," I admitted. "You don't have to do anything alone anymore," she murmured. "Ever." I leaned against her, finally allowing myself to relax, though the adrenaline still thrummed through my veins. The fear had been intense, but the courage I felt now, the defiance I had shown, it was intoxicating. For the first time, I realized something important. My crossdressing, my secret life, wasn't just a vulnerability. It was a part of me. And when I embraced it, I could be strong even when exposed. The phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I froze. My chest tightened. "Don't answer it," Isabella whispered firmly. "It's over for now." I nodded, swallowing. She was right. For now. But deep down, I knew the danger wasn't gone. Someone knew my secret, and the world outside could still judge, ridicule, or even threaten me. The intruder had promised that. I took a deep breath, glancing at the mirror. The reflection staring back at me was complex. Half the boy I had always been, half the girl I had longed to explore, entirely exposed, entirely me. And yet, despite the fear, despite the adrenaline, despite the vulnerability, I felt a strange exhilaration. I had survived. I had faced exposure. And I had stood tall. Isabella's eyes met mine. "You're amazing," she whispered. "All of you." Her words wrapped around me like a warm blanket. I felt my trembling body slowly relax, though the reality of what had happened, and what could still happen, lingered. I adjusted my wig, smoothed the dress, tried to breathe evenly. The physical discomfort, the stockings, the tightness of the dress, the slightly crooked wig, reminded me that even in victory, my dual identity came with challenges. But they no longer seemed unbearable. Instead, they were proof. Proof that I had faced fear and survived. A soft knock at the door interrupted the quiet. My heart leapt again. Isabella tensed. "Who is it?" I shook my head. "I don't know." The doorknob rattled gently, a whisper of sound that made my stomach knot. We exchanged a glance. I could feel her heartbeat in her hand over mine. And then, a voice, soft, almost teasing, came from the other side. "Ethan, I know you're in there." My pulse thundered in my ears. The adrenaline returned. The threat wasn't gone. It never truly would be. But now, I wasn't alone. Isabella's presence, her support, her courage mirrored back at me, gave me a sense of strength I had never known. I realized then that no matter what happened next, whether exposure came, ridicule came, or danger returned, I could face it. I could face it as myself. Half boy, half girl, entirely me. The knock came again. Louder. Insistent. I glanced at Isabella. She nodded, her hand gripping mine. "Together?" she asked. "Together," I whispered back. The door creaked open slowly, leaving the rest to imagination. And in that moment, the story hung suspended. Would the intruder return? Would my secret finally be revealed to the world? Would we survive the next wave of threats? The answer wasn't known. The reflection in the mirror stared back at me, trembling, exposed, and yet unbroken. And the lavender dress clung tighter than ever, reminder of vulnerability, courage, and identity intertwined. The story wasn't over. And that was exactly what kept my heart racing. The apartment was silent. Too silent. Even after the intruder had left, or so we thought, the weight of the moment pressed down on me. My lavender dress clung to me, the stockings pinched, the wig slightly crooked. My makeup was smudged from trembling hands, from adrenaline, from tears. Every detail of my exposed self was a reminder. My secret had been seen, and the world outside could still change everything. Isabella sat beside me, still holding my hand, still radiating calm and strength. But I could see the tension in her eyes. The fear that he might return. The uncertainty of what might happen next. "We can't just sit here," I whispered. My voice was small, trembling. He knows. He knows about me. What if he tells someone? What if? "Shoo," Isabella said, pressing a finger to my lips. "Not now. Not tonight. Focus on us here together." I nodded, though anxiety clawed at my chest. The door had been shut, locked, but that didn't matter. The unknown loomed outside. Someone had seen me as the girl I'd hidden, the one I'd carefully crafted in secret. The lavender dress shimmered faintly in the dim light of the room. It felt heavy on my shoulders now, almost symbolic, a cage and armor in one. I adjusted the wig, brushing stray strands back from my face. The reflection in the mirror looked back at me. Half frightened, half exhilarated, entirely exposed. A soft buzz from the phone startled me. Unknown number. I froze. My chest tightened. Every instinct screamed not to answer. "Don't," Isabella whispered. Her fingers gripped mine tightly, grounding me. But curiosity, or fear, pulled me toward it. My thumb hovered over the green button. My heart thundered. My stomach twisted. Before I could make a decision, the phone stopped buzzing. Silence. And then, A soft tap at the window. I whipped around. Shadows danced against the curtains. My pulse leapt into overdrive. The city outside glittered with lights, but something in that flicker, that movement, told me the intruder, or someone else, was still watching. Isabella moved in front of me. "Stay behind me," she whispered. "Whatever happens, I've got you." My legs shook. The lavender dress pinched at my knees. My stockings felt tighter, constricting with the adrenaline pumping through me. The window tapped again. Louder this time. Insistent. I swallowed hard. My reflection in the mirror caught my eye. The girl I had feared being seen, and yet the girl who had survived, who had faced exposure and defiance. A strange mixture of fear and exhilaration surged through me. My secret life, my crossdressing, my identity, was out there now. Vulnerable. Exposed. Dangerous. But I also felt strength I had never known. I could face whatever came next. But would I? Could I survive the next wave of threats? Could I stay true to myself when the world might reject me? The window rattled again. And this time, a shadow moved closer. I clenched my fists. The lavender dress clung tighter. The stockings pinched painfully. My wig shifted. My makeup smudged. But I stood taller than I had before. Isabella's hand tightened over mine. "Whatever happens, we face it together," she whispered. I nodded. My voice was barely audible. Together. A movement in the shadows. A shape. Someone, or something, watching, waiting. And then silence. But the threat lingered. Hanging in the air like smoke. Like a promise. Someone knew my secret. Someone was out there. And I didn't know if I could trust the night, or the world, any longer. The lavender dress swayed lightly with my trembling breath. My reflection stared back at me. Exposed, fragile, yet defiant. The door remained locked. The intruder had gone. For now. But the world outside was vast. Dangerous. Full of people who might see, judge, betray. And I had no idea when, or how, it would happen. The phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I froze. Isabella gripped my hand. "Do you want me to answer it?" I shook my head slowly. "Not yet. Not yet." A pause. Then, the faintest whisper of a voice carried through the apartment, as if from the shadows themselves. "Ethan, you can't hide forever." I shivered. The lavender dress clung to me. The wig itched. My makeup smeared. And my heart raced faster than ever. Because I knew, deep down, this was only the beginning. The story wasn't over. And the next move was anyone's guess.